It started like any ordinary night. I was sitting in my room, scrolling through old files, looking for something that might keep me awake, and I stumbled on a story, a legend. At first, it felt almost laughable, one of those ghost tales you tell around a campfire. But the deeper I read, the less I wanted to laugh, because some stories don't die, they wait. Let me take you back. Imagine Europe, 1600s, streets cobbled and narrow, the smell of smoke, damp stone, and sickness in the air. The plague was everywhere, and with it came the doctors. You've seen them in pictures, long black coats, wide-brimmed hats, and those terrible masks shaped like the beak of a bird. They weren't just costumes. The beaks were stuffed with herbs, vinegar sponges, sometimes even rotten flowers, anything to block out the stench of death. But there was one doctor different. His name was August Stolz. They said he didn't fear the plague. No, he studied it, obsessed over it. While others treated patients, Stolz collected bodies. He boiled bones, carved symbols into skulls, and whispered things no one dared to repeat. Neighbors swore they saw his window glowing red long after midnight, and some whispered he had bargained with something darker than medicine. When the plague finally took him, people thought it was over. He was buried quickly, no prayers, no ceremony, just dirt piled over the coffin. But the next morning, the grave was empty. The wood of the coffin splintered. The earth clawed from the inside.
That's when it began. They say at night, a tall figure started walking the streets, coat dragging across the stones, beak mask gleaming in the moonlight. And always, always before he appeared, a bell rang. Not a church bell, not a handbell, but a soft, hollow clink, echoing like metal striking bone. At first, people thought it was their imagination, until whole families were found in the morning, bodies twisted, faces burned to ash, rooms smelling of sulfur. One survivor, a boy, said he woke in the night to the sound of that bell. He saw the doctor standing in the corner of his room, the mask tilted toward him. The boy swore Stolz spoke, but not in words. The sound that came from behind that beat was the boy's own voice. After that, the boy never spoke again. He simply sat, staring at walls, until he died a month later. Now, I'll be honest with you. If I'd only read about August Stolz in dusty books, I'd have shrugged it off. But his story didn't stay buried in history. Because people claim he didn't stop in the 1600s. He kept walking through centuries, and the bell kept ringing. Sailors in the 1800s swore he appeared on their ships at night, shadow in a corner, the bell echoing in the creak of the deck. By sunrise, half the crew gone, leaving only black ash where they slept. And every century, the sightings continue, even now. You might think, fine, that's history, dusty books, sailors' tales, things to scare children. But the legend, it didn't stay in the past. It crawled forward into our time. In 2019, a group of American college students decided to film a Halloween prank. They thought the plague doctor was creepy, a perfect costume for a YouTube video. They laughed, joked, even stuffed a cheap mask with cotton to make it look more real. At first, everything was harmless, just kids messing around in a dorm hallway. But halfway through the video, the laughter faded because the camera caught something behind them, something they hadn't planned. A figure. Tall. Too tall. Dressed in a coat not from Party City, but worn black leather, cracked and ancient. And the mask, not plastic, but bone white, gleaming in the dim light. It wasn't their friend. One of the students, a boy named Ryan, turned and yelled, "Who the hell are you?" The figure didn't move, didn't speak, but a sound filled the hallway. A bell. Not loud, no. Soft, hollow, like iron tapping inside your own skull. The video shakes. Someone screams. The camera falls sideways, spinning, showing feet, running, shadows stretching, the plague doctor's mask turning toward the lens. And then, nothing. The last frame freezes in the reflection in a dorm window. Not the students, not the cameraman, but a tall, crooked figure in black, beak mask glinting. Police dismissed it as a hoax, said the footage was edited, but the students never came home. Their families swear they vanished that same night. No bodies, no evidence. Only their camera, found abandoned, battery dead. And here's the part that unsettles me most. When the video was uploaded, the first few people who watched it reported something strange. They swore they could hear the bell. Not through speakers, not in the video itself, but in their rooms, behind them. As if someone was standing just out of sight. I don't know if that's true. I don't want to know. But people still vanish. And every so often, someone online posts, "I heard the bell." So I'll tell you this, if you're listening right now, and you hear a faint ringing, like metal tapping bone, coming from the dark corner of your room, don't look, don't move, because he doesn't heal anymore. He collects.